And we are live.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Did you begin Ramadan on the right day? Or did you do it the day before or the day after? These are the types of questions that are swimming in the Muslim zeitgeist, and this is why we are addressing it on the show today. Welcome to Moon Fighting. I'm your host. You can refer to me as Ibn Yasir or Yasir, and we'll be guiding you through some of the technical aspects, some of the more interesting aspects of this issue that plagues us every single year. Okay. Now, I don't have any strong stance on this issue myself. I am a complete beginner on the topic, like I'm assuming you are too. But not to worry, because we are pulling up some of the all-stars, the most respected voices in the country on this strange niche issue, and we'll try to pack in as many perspectives as we can. Now, the aim of the show is to get a little more educated, and more knowledge always means getting a little more tolerant also. And also because I hate discussing issues with no path forward. There's a lot of shows today that will just spread awareness without having any call to action. Inshallah, we'll have a call to action on what exactly we can do in the future to make sure that we are more united going forward. So we'll envision a future that almost all of the country can celebrate together in sync one day. Now, why do we care so much about this issue? I'll start with a story from myself. I think it was maybe 4 years ago. My sister was newly married, and I came downstairs on Eid, and she wasn't there. I called her. I said, "Where are you? It's Eid. Why aren't you home?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm not celebrating." And I go, "Oh, so you're not gonna come at all?" And she goes, "No, I'm gonna be with my with my in-laws." And that was the moment where I realized, oh, this is what it means to have a difference. Because before this, I had no experience with these kinds of differences. And I think this points to the heart of why this issue gets people so passionate about it. It's because there is a sense of loss that occurs. A leading psychologist, Anthony Robbins, he points to pain being a loss. All pain that we experience in this life is some kind of loss, where something has been lost, or something is being lessened, or something can never be gained again. And not having your entire family on the dinner table, that is slightly painful. That's a seat lost. And so when people are in a state of pain, they tend to say things, they tend to exaggerate things, they tend to go overboard, and this is what we'll try to ease with today. Okay, now, when it comes to moon sighting, there is a whole science behind it, and there's a whole community behind it that I didn't know existed. So we'll begin by speaking to a few guests. The first guest his name is Azim, and our producer is currently typing away, probably panicking. If you can text Azim, and while he does that, and Azim calls in, I'll pull out some random facts, just like how in the middle of a console game, the loading screen, you'll see some random facts. I've got some random facts for you, don't worry. Okay, now this one is regarding the middle 3 days of each lunar month. So a man called Dr. Gores, who, what can I say about Dr. Gores? He's a superstar of the community. He is the only human being I've ever met in my life that whenever I spend time with him, my iman rises. There's been multiple occasions where just sitting with him and hearing some of the points that he's made has literally caused me to drop to my knees and perform sajda to Allah, because because of the way because of what he says, his deep knowledge, his deep conviction, and also the way that he delivers it. So he's in the medical field. He's a foremost expert in dermatology. He grafts new skin, often on bodies that are burnt. And he once told me, and this was in another country, that in the middle of each month, as in the lunar months, there is a rise of mental health disorder episodes. There is a spike of public fighting, and there is a spike of suicide attempts. And he basically explained that it's because when the moon, in the middle of the month, when it's at its full power, it actually pulls not just the waves in the ocean, it actually has an effect on the liquid inside of our bodies, including the liquid inside of our brains around our skulls. And so this causes us to act up. Is he ready? Yeah, okay. Just let me finish this point. So, because the gravitational force is so strong on liquid around our brains, it causes irrational behavior. And coincidentally, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he encouraged us to actually fast these 3 days, and that's what he practiced, the pearl days of the month. And what does fasting do? Fasting actually allows us to have more control over our body, or more control over our emotions, and so that can counteract the force that the moon has on us. Interesting, right? Now, obviously, the way that he described it to me, it was much better, and I tried to impart some of it. Okay, Mohammed, if you wanna pull through Azim. Azim, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Assalamu alaikum, Azim. How are you?
Wa alaikum salam. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Were you tuning into the show? Have you just called in?
Yeah, I was on YouTube actually, listening live.
Great. What did you think of that point from Dr. Gulrez?
I think it's quite interesting. I actually got the call to come in on the show as you're starting the story, but I think I caught the end of it, the psychological elements and the fasting and how it helps. Of course, it's unsurprising that our Prophet ﷺ kind of said these things, and they're good for us, right? I actually recently came across a similar fact to do with something else, and it's to do with sipping water slowly from another expert. So, yeah, of course, it's not surprising.
That's that's also true. Rasulullah's words have still echoing throughout the centuries. So now, Azim, let me introduce you real quick. So Azim is I would call a data IT aficionado. Others call him by genius. He is also is it fair to say a hobbyist, or would I say expert on moon sighting?
I would say an amateur, really.
Sure, okay. He's being humble. And the reason for the call is because Azim was actually the very first person to get me thinking about it, because he was the very first person that I've ever met that actually talked about the fact that he would go and sight the moon each month, not just Ramadan and Eid, but each month in specific spots around the country where the sky is clearer. So I wanted to ask Azim, could you impart with and share with the audience how did this all begin? How does someone become a moon sighter? Like, what got you so interested that you would go out of your way each month and search for the moon?
Yeah, it's actually an interesting question. It's a multifaceted, but I'll keep it